Being strong in this world allows you to elicit envy from other people. And envy is an extremely important vibration. It's perhaps one of the most powerful vibrations. When people are jealous of you, it gives you power. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how this works. I'm going to read through a tweet I put out earlier today that explains why people being envious of you is such a superpower. Before that, I want to mention that inside of the war room, we have 10 sigils. And the war room sigils are based on the important things that every single war room member needs to understand before they become a member. You don't necessarily have to be strong when you join, but you have to understand how strength matters in the way I've just explained. And you have to be trying your best to becoming stronger all of the time. That's what's so important about the war room. What did I say earlier? If you remove the weakness, are you truly prepared to be the only depressed person? If you go into the war room and there's 5,000 members who say I'm depressed, and all 4,999 say depression isn't real, are you prepared to be the only depressed person? Because if you walk into therapy and say that, there's a bunch of losers around you. A whole bunch of other pussies. I'm just going to say I'm depressed too. Big pussy crybaby, let's all hug them. Not my thing. In the war room, we say that's not real and that's not allowed. Peer pressure in a positive direction for an upward spiral. So the first sigil of the war room is understanding how being seen as strong and how working towards being strong and how judging people on their physical strength translates into success in this area. So the war room is based on strength because the war room is based on accountability and competence. It is also based on a brotherhood in which you can find solace. And weak people are of no use to anybody, and they cannot be trusted. It is for this reason that strength is the first sigil of the war room. And I'm going to be explaining the 10 sigils across the coming weeks so you understand. And if you were to pay attention to all of these emergency meetings and watch them in full and imagine having these 10 sigils applied to your life, it is very easy, even for the most rudimentary of imaginations, to see how fantastic life can be. It is why I pride myself permanently on my physical strength. I am pertinently and consciously aware all of the time about the fact that I am strong enough to crush a man's neck with my very large predatory hands. I think about this permanently. I can't imagine a world in which it is not inside of my conscious thinking all of the time. It's an option I always have. I always have the possibility of dealing with the man in front of me with brute force. And that elicits envy. And envy is one of the most powerful vibrations in the universe. Nikola Tesla says it. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, look at it in terms of frequency and vibration. And envy is a very powerful vibration. We're going to talk about it now. I tweeted this earlier today. The energy of people can be stolen from them. If you make somebody angry, the energy of people can be stolen from them. If you make somebody angry so that they think about you while you refuse to think of them, haters convert calories into thoughts which have your name on them. They are giving you power. Haters feed. 10 million people I've never heard of say my name each day. It's probably much more, to be honest. This is immensely powerful. Everybody knows that guy who's just lucky, but nobody considers why. Why does he always win in the end? Why do all of these bad things end up helping this guy? How does he force the universe to provide consistently? My superpower is simple. It is very easy for me to make people envious of me. All of this false virtue hate is obviously seething jealousy. I'm big, and I'm rich, and I'm famous, and I'm important, and I'm adored, and people hate being so brutally demolished in the game of life. There are men who have dedicated their lives to an average woman to achieve 3 kids at best. I have 15, and they can't stand it. They cry I don't raise my kids because they can't imagine how easily you can raise a clan with my type of finance. How obedient females are when you're actually important. I was literally the most Googled man alive. I have world title belts from standing over demolished opponents. I have endless finance. The list goes on and on. People stare at me and see what they could have been if only they were a little braver. If only they didn't let their wives tell them what to do. My life highlights their brutal failures and they get furious. When their wife henpecks them, they think of me, and I never ever think of them. They feed me with energy. I am made of lightning. Universal life force comes from haters, solicit envy, and steal the souls of others. This is why warriors of old wore bright feathers and gold, to highlight their superiority, to make other men jealous. Jealousy from other men makes you powerful. My haters can't stand how popular I am, not understanding they are why I am popular. All of the energy they put into saying my name helps me. It always has. It always will. It doesn't matter if they say bad things about me. It matters that they talk about me. The secrets of the universe would be found by examining energy, frequency, and vibration, said Nikola Tesla. Envy is the most powerful vibration. You are winning and you focus on winning. Losers focus on you to help you win. I wake up each day more powerful than the day before. When I become prime minister and everybody says, "Hey, put me there," this is why I seem so lucky. Why do I put on muscle so easily without steroids? Why do I make money so easily? More than you can possibly imagine. Because everybody is thinking about me all of the time. It sounds crazy, but are you smart enough to understand? I am on the mind of all of the world's females and endless haters 24/7. Take. I never think of them. I don't need to, because they work for me. I grow stronger. I am a storm far in the distance, fed by the evaporating dreams of jealous men. Men who are imagining an alternate universe in which they could match me in any realm, but they cannot, and they know it, and it angers them to their core, and the heat from their anger forces their souls to evaporate faster, and I absorb all of it. I grow stronger. I can tell you how any man can get attention from the world, and how to harness it into fuel. My blood flows at 450 miles per hour. This is a scientific fact. You must know what I know to do what I can do. Think of all the scrolling you do, all of that energy you give away. Are the people you are watching thinking of you? Are they thinking of your name? You are failing yourself. There is a finite amount of human soul on the planet, and I have the soul of at least 50,000 men because they have given it to me. This is why when I speak, you feel it. 18 men's bodies I destroyed in the ring and stole their happiness forever. They'll never forget the day I beat them. The rest of the soul was given to me via the envy of peasants. I've told you the basic framework. You've heard it before. The law of attraction. But nobody has the truth besides me. I live it, and I prove it. I am saving the intricacies for students willing to learn. If you want to learn the true secrets of universal life force, how to steal the souls of other men and become more powerful than ever before, you can read thewarroom.ag. I will test you, because I cannot teach everyone, and I need peasants to steal from. There is no light without dark, no joy without pain. There's no brilliance without mediocrity. I need people to lose so I can win. The masses of average, unimportant men are the feeding grounds for the elite few, the worms for the birds. They exist unhappy so I can know joy. This is how the world works. Have you ever seen one of those men who walks into the room and everyone stares even though he isn't doing anything? He is full to the brim of life force, and the empty vessels around him naturally gravitate to his power. That is why people cannot stop staring. He grows even more powerful as they stare at him. Look at all exchanges in life as energy transfers, especially arguments. You want to sit and argue with your woman for the next 3 hours, screaming at her for acting a fool. She owes you energy. She better give you the most aggressive blow you could think of, because she owes you energy. And I will teach you how this works. I will teach you how to win at life. I will teach you how to be hated and discussed and admired on the lips of every single person on the planet. The law of attraction on cocaine. If you want to learn, go to thewarroom.ag. This will go over some of your heads. Not all of you are ready for this. Not all of you are going to understand what I'm saying. But those of you whose minds are ready to be freed will know that this makes absolutely perfect sense. It is impossible for human beings to eat food and consume calories and to use those calories thinking of your name and for their body heat and their electromagnetic vibrations to be emitted out into the universe and for you to not absorb the ones that have your name on it to become stronger than you've ever been. That is physically impossible. I'll argue with any physicist. I will argue with any physicist that if 100 people are in a room thinking of my name, I am physically stronger. I've experienced it. This is why I only win. Because envy is the highest form of vibration. People look at my life and they see. They can't stand me. He's so big and he's rich and he's strong and he's accused of human trafficking, but all the important people still like him, and he made this video, and look at this girl. And nobody cares. Everyone loves Tate. It's the Tate show. And they sit angry, bitter, and I win. So I poke them. I make them angry on purpose so that I can win even more. Like squeezing the juice from an orange. Most of you at home do not have men envious of you. If I saw your life, I would not envy it. I don't want to be you. I would feel unimportant and poor if I was you. But if people were envious of you, don't you remember that feeling when you were a child? Having the toy that everyone else wanted? Don't you remember that feeling inside of you when you had the toy the other kids wanted and you wouldn't give it to them? Don't you remember how powerful you felt? That's how I feel every day. And you don't get to feel that way because nobody wants what you have. And nobody wants to be you. Because you can't do anything and you don't have anything which is unique and fantastic and valuable.